Hey everyone, welcome back to 22 Panels. This is the podcast that aims to examine, explore, and elevate the medium of comics. I am Tyler, and across the interwebs from me is my good buddy Tad. Hey Tad, how's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Good.
We're up late.
We are. This is unusual for us. We're usually
This is
morning
like
people.
past my bedtime.
Yeah, we're morning people.
And it's
I gotta
all
be up at 5 in the morning.
You start this with a guilt trip. I appreciate that. Now
Well,
I already feel bad.
I mean, just wait for
What?
my next line.
Do you want me
We're
to
with,
Venmo
we're
you
with the
something?
second
I feel
best
horrible.
current Wonder Woman writer.
The
Second best.
Everybody knows Kelly Thompson's absolute Wonder Woman.
I saw Kelly Thompson the other night on.
I get it. No, I get it.
On
You're not the
Scott
first
Snyder's
person to make that observation.
And we talked to Kelly about I talked to Kelly about absolute Wonder Woman right before it came out.
Yep.
I got to give you a
Very
hard time,
nice.
Tom. I'm
Very
always
nice.
building you up because
I appreciate it. And Kelly deserves all the credit in the world. That fucking Wonder Woman book is amazing.
You're on my very short list of people that I will read literally anything you write. Kelly is too. So it's kind of crazy that like I'm now getting the crash course in Wonder Woman as two of the people that I will read anything they write are writing it at the same time.
That is absolutely true. And one time when we were talking about Batman, and I was like, yeah, I'm not really a big fan of Tom King's Batman. I like Scott Snyder. It's a little bit better. Tad about went off the wall at me.
I think we went half an hour of me ripping into him about how that was the wrong opinion.
Yeah, so he really does love
Well,
your stuff.
if it's the wrong opinion, it's the common opinion. So let us rebel against. Let us not go quietly. It's the thing. I don't think you're in the minority there, my friend.
No, but the thing is, Tad came to your rescue so hard. It was funny.
I love my Batman.
Oh, man.
But I don't. It's my Batman. I had to do double ship. Scott didn't have to do that.
No.
My Batman's quite a bit longer than Scott. It's somewhat apples and oranges.
Exactly.
Scott had one artist for his. I had like 17.
That's true.
Only 17?
It's probably more than 17. So yeah, it's like it's a different cup of tea.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You don't have to
But that
compare.
actually
You don't have
does
to
lead me to
compare.
one question that, like, the throwaway type question that I knew that I needed to slip in tonight. So, like, you have this really hidden talent for writing great characters in not the scenarios that one would expect. I was specifically thinking that, like, the biggest Joker story other than the Joker Riddler, which didn't really have Batman, was the Joker Catwoman in the chapel.
Yes.
That was your Joker masterpiece. And now you finally do something with Damian, but it's in Wonder Woman. And it was brilliant.
Well,
I laughed my ass off all the way through.
Mitch and I did a whole little Joker miniseries, so we did that too. I have some Joker.
Yeah,
out there.
but you know what I mean.
And he was, yes, no, I do know what you mean. I'm the one who makes the dumb move of like, I have Batman. I'm not going to put Joker in the book because
No, but you have Wonder Woman and you decide to do something with Robin. I love it.
Well, that's Mark Waid. I mean, he came to me and he said, those absolute. He just said, Tom, I have an idea. What if I team up Damian and Wonder Woman? I was like, great. What are they doing? He's like, I don't care. so that's how that came. Let's put Mark's imprint on that. And then of course because it was Damian. Whenever I get Damian, I start writing jokes for some reason.
Well, I mean, he fits well in it.
Yeah.
He makes me laugh as a character.
I mean, your backup stories with Belen Ortega still almost outshine the main story some days, and the main story is really fucking good.
They're my favorite things. I just saw some of her art from the new Trinity book. Just the first pages just came in today, and I was like, because I really should not be writing that Trinity book. I have too much work. And I put it on my schedule, like, and every time I see it on my schedule, I was like, why am I doing this Trinity book? There's no room. I have like 3 jobs right now, but then I just got the art in today. I was like, oh right, that's why I'm doing it, so I can see Milena draw
because it's
little Lizzie. being ridiculous and doing silly things, and it's my favorite thing. It's my children's. It's the only thing I write that my children actually care about,
Well,
which is
other than Archie.
depressing. Yes, they cared about Archie. That's true. That's why I did that.
Oh,
So,
man.
yes. So, but they cared about Archie, and they care about that. So now they pick up Wonder Woman because it used to be the backup in every Wonder Woman, and they're like, "What is this? Where is my backup?"
Where's my story?
I was like, "That's Kari. Kari's one of the great artists in history." No, I don't care. I want the little girl doing silly adventures.
Oh, that's funny.
So yeah, those backups are the most fun to write. It was like taking a week off when I could just write jokes.
So
My history is I love comic strips. That's like one of the things I love about comic books or one aspect of it I love is comic strips. So I get to channel
What
that.
are your favorite comic strips? I mean, I know you love Peanuts.
yeah.
Peanuts is number one for me. Obviously, I think that's.
And you've got another crack to be part of our Peanuts Roundtable because it fell apart in October. Everybody had to be at cons, so we're doing it in January now.
I'll be there. I think that internationally, I'm going to go as far as internationally, the best comics of all time. Put pictures with words together, make a comic is the Peanuts comic strip, what Charles Schultz did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I love the classics. I love me some Calvin and Hobbes. I love me some Far Side. I think Far Side's probably the funniest comic strip of all time. I think Calvin and Hobbes is probably maybe the most beautiful. I love old stuff. I love like the Popeye Easy Seeger stuff. I'll get into some Crazy Cat. I like Flash Gordon. I love an old soap opera strip called Mary Perkins. I probably love that comic more than anybody else. Me and Walt Simonson are the big fans of that one. And when we get together, we talk Mary Perkins. I'm a huge Bloom County guy, Berkeley Breathe guy.
Right.
When I was a kid, I just couldn't get enough of that. And I still every Sunday, my kids and I sit down and we read the Sunday comics and we say which one's the best one. This week Zit's one, but we read. I love Garfield. I have a wall of Garfield original art in my kitchen that sits over my dining room table. I have like 7 original strips. They're just stacked there that make me laugh for Toliko.
Have you been out to the Billy Ireland yet?
Billy Ireland?
At Ohio State. Billy Ireland Cartoon Museum?
I have not. I've heard it's awesome.
Yeah. We got to drag you out to CXC sometime. Not even as a tabler. You should just go as a fan. You should take a weekend and go as a fan.
I would.
I think you'd have a blast.
I would.
And almost nobody would recognize you. It's one of the few cons that you'd be okay.
Yeah, nobody would care.
No, Chip Zdarsky was there this year, and it was weird for him because he was up against Jeff Smith. So Jeff's room was full and he had empty chairs. Not a lot of them, but he had some.
I was at a Colorado con once, sitting at a table just talking to some guys. Their table was joking around, and I got up and Charles Soule was there, and he's like, "That was awesome, man!" Right? I was like, "What was awesome?" He's like, "Jim Davis. That was Jim Davis across the table from you." I was like, "That was Jim Davis? Nobody fucking told me. I know what Jim Davis looks like." I would have been like totally. Thank God, because I would have just gone total fanboy.
You would have been like,
did you have a conversation with him?
Garfield?
Yeah, I mean, I think we probably made some jokes about the con or like, oh man, everybody's high in Colorado or some shitty, stupid Colorado conversation.
Sure. That's funny.
But it wasn't what I would want. I don't know what you'd want to talk about Jim Davis. Be like, remember that time you made that cat who loves lasagna? It's awesome,
There was a Garfield.
How do you tell one joke for 40 years and still make it awesome?
40 years, like 40. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm telling you. There's a point in Garfield, like in the early 90s. Obviously, everybody knows Jim Davis. He's ghosts.
Yeah.
I don't know who was ghosting him, either writing or drawing. But it gets like really existential. Like these early. If you ever look at the early 90s Garfield, they're like, because it's when they finally like tore John down to like, what he became, that he became so absurd they made fun of him with Garfield without Garfield. Sure. But like the idea that John was like this man who was like slowly dying inside as Garfield mocked him. I don't know. It makes me laugh. Anyways, this is Garfield talk with Tom King.
I'm gonna have to go dig those up.
That's dark.
I finally
1990. Whoever the one guy was, 91 to 94. He was going through something.
I have both of my digital comic strip subscriptions now, Comics Kingdom and Go Comics, so I can go look at back stuff. I'm gonna have to go find those. You said early 90s?
Early 90s, yeah.
That's
I'm
cool.
telling you,
Okay.
Garfield goes crazy.
So
since we're talking to you, we should probably talk some Black Canary.
yes.
Yes, that's what I need to promote, guys. That's what I'm
Yes.
here.
I
I'm trying to get people to buy
let
this
you
book.
forget to do a little bit of promotion.
This book is cursed. It's not cursed in that it's bad. It's one of the best things I've ever written in my life, and it's one of the best drawn things.
Okay.
If I didn't work
It's
with
cursed because you're up against Kelly Thompson again with her Birds of Prey.
Kelly Thompson. No, that's the number one. No, the FOC.
Are you gonna try to write It's Jeff next?
The FOC, which is the final day you can order it when you're supposed to most promote it, you're supposed to be out there.
Yeah,
was
right.
fucking the day before the election when nobody gave a fuck about.
Nobody cared.
Go buy Black Canary. And
see, I didn't care, but if you'd reminded me, I would have had fun with that. I would have said, take your mind off of the horror of the abyss and order Black Canary.
Guys, it is. I've been working too hard because look, I'm drinking this Diet Coke in the middle of the night. Sorry,
I'm too.
Podcast.
I got my Mountain Dew right
Look
here.
at
He's got Mountain Dew.
5 fucking
Oh, wow.
goddamn.
You're on your 5th. That's a lot.
I'm not saying this is one day's worth, but it's not like a month's worth. I have been. To this
Tom, you're talking about having trouble getting rid of the extra chin. I think he just answered it.
It's all diet. It's all diet. But I don't think it's very healthy at all.
That aspartame is pretty bad for you too.
Yeah, that's gonna kill me.
All pop is bad for you. All soda's gross, but
yeah, no. When I die, just remember this moment. Yeah.
You're not dying anytime soon.
I'm in great shape. Best shape of my life.
I know people who know CPR in DC.
I'm definitely drinking too much soda. All right, what are we talking about? Black Canary.
Black Canary.
And the day it releases is the day before Thanksgiving. So it has that wonderful window of please order it the day before election, and it comes at the day before Thanksgiving. So it is a book that might get lost if I don't shout to the rafters, and I am shouting to the fucking rafters because this book is something special. It's another Supergirl. It's another Human Target. It's Ryan and I have been working on this book almost 4 years now, I think. Wow. Because it was written back when Supergirl and Human Target were when I wrote those. And Ryan's just been drawing it and taking his time to do the best art and making sure he does all 6 issues, which is, to get an artist of that caliber to do all 6 28-page issues is something. And it's gorgeous and it's deep.
Talk to Ryan again. We got a little bit of him for Wednesday Comics.
Yep.
He came and joined us for the Wednesday Comics Roundtable.
He's a legend. He's so good. Oh my god. Yeah. The art.
You keep collecting good artists. I mean, it's like they like to work for you or something.
People ask me that like how do you always get good artists? I was like, I have no idea. It's complete. I don't know. It's kismet.
It probably your scripts. They probably are easy to read.
No, I think it's because when you come on shows like this, you don't talk about what a good writer you are. All you do is talk about the art.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm terrible at talking about art. Why do I put myself in
as soon as I say you're a good writer, I get to see the bill of your cap.
There he goes. There it is.
Yeah,
we're like,
you see my tell of like, let me tell you about some. No, but I don't know how to say art is good. I can't be like, man, he's using perspective, and I can't believe he's doing this like. That's okay. I have none. I'm like, it looks good.
You talk about
really
art
nice.
The way I talk about art, and I mean Tyler and my wife do a better job because they actually know how to make it. But I mean, Tom, you actually draw better than I do, so
Oh, well, I am.
I appreciate it.
I'm an Eisner winning artist, and I'm a.
Are you now
published? Well, I drew 1 page of Mr. Miracle.
That's right.
Which won the Eisner for best miniseries, and it didn't specify everything but that 1 page. It said the whole thing. So the 1 page was supposed to be what it looks like when a 2-year-old draws, but I still say that it counts.
It wasn't like when the Nobels specifically excluded Wisława Szymborska's war years output when giving her the poetry.
That's right. Now there was no like
it wasn't Mr. Miracle except for that 1 page.
Right. That 1 page was included and exists.
I hear that there was a fight about that, but you won. So
Mitch, at cons, This is also a Peanuts joke, or a Peanuts reference. At cons, Mitch sells. He's a digital artist, but he does these one-to-one beautiful prints where he just makes one print. He's like, "This is the only print I'll ever make of this page, that's signed and has all sorts of like you can track it to make sure he's not lying." And he has them out, and they're beautiful, and they're for sale for anywhere between like 600 to 1,000 depending on the page.
Sure.
And it's all of Mr. Miracle, and he printed out the page that is my art, and has it in there, and I could price it whatever I want. So I priced it for $70,000 because I really want to buy this Peanuts page that's $70,000. So if I can just find one buyer to exchange to buy my art for 70 grand, I can get this Peanuts page. So
I've held a Peanuts page in my hands.
I
can't afford one.
I cannot afford one either. Someday,
but I've held one. I've held one.
Someday, well, I probably could afford one, but like my marriage would be over. So like I'd be like, yay, I afforded it, but I lost. So it'd be really expensive because I would lose half. It comes with a tax. It's like 70,000 plus half of everything you've ever earned.
Mrs. King doesn't listen to many podcasts, does she?
No, she doesn't. But she's on the other side of that wall. So
that's funny. She can hear you. She can hear you. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. So, but if someone buys, she'll never know if someone buys that page, and I just go with the same con and take the.
Well,
that's my shot.
You should find who's selling that page. You should just offer a 1-for-1 swap.
I've made some inquiries. I don't think they're quite interested.
You should say
yet.
there are lots of Peanuts pages. There's only one.
This is only one
page.
You know what? I'm not sure Charles Schultz ever won.
Throw in the original art from your covers.
What? No. We're not going.
You can have the covers and the original art.
Whoa. Okay. I still do have those covers for those buyers out there. I still have 3 comic covers.
I actually wound up buying all of those. I had to. I couldn't resist.
You bought those? Oh, we're doing another one. I don't know how to tell you, but they're making plans. And I was like, will you do it again? I said, only if you'll meet my cover page. And they're like, what is it? I was like, it's $75.
You should suggest the high school art teacher page, and I'll do one for you.
I'm in. I am working with Seth Mann, Clayman's brother, who was a high school art teacher for his whole career. And we're doing a project.
My wife, too.
I can't say what the project
Tyler,
is.
too.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. And he's turning pages, and they are amazing.
Are they?
Just absolutely just blew my mind. Incredible. So I am all for high school art teachers going into comics because this guy's like, oh, as soon as this comes out, you're going to be a superstar because you are really, really good.
I incorporate.
So we're going to remember that, and Tyler gets to do a cover on your next Creative Own series. You don't actually have to sell it to anybody. He gets to draw it and give it to you.
Yeah, I get to submit.
Ask for more than 75.
Okay. All right. No.
I think going rate is like $750. Jenny Friesen, I think, gets $1,200.
I can do Daredevil. I can do Daredevil very well. So if you're doing Daredevil thing, then I'm your guy. Batman as well.
Wait, but are you doing some like gag Daredevil where it just says like the world what Daredevil sees and it's just a black cover?
No, it's not. I can actually draw Daredevil.
I feel like that's why you were saying Daredevil.
No, one of my favorites.
He's not doing the John Byrne Snow issue.
Yeah, the John Byrne Snow issue. Yeah.
No. Anyway, Black Canary.
We've talked about it, and it being great art and it being cursed because of dates, but you haven't actually pitched the book.
So Black Canary started back when 10 years ago. There was a retreat where we were playing the next Batman event. So it was me, Scott Snyder, James Tynan was there, Josh Williamson was there, Becky Cloonan was there, and I think a few other people. And we came up with it was half joke, half pitch, where it was called Fight Night, with a K, Fight Knight.
Right.
And the idea was all the bat characters would be sort of in a tournament, and we'd find out who was the best bat fighter, just hand to hand fighter. Um, Definitely a ripoff of a Marvel concept, but we don't have to talk about it. And and we were joking about it. And as we're going, we're like, who actually is the best fighter in the DC universe? And it was like, oh, well, canonically, Lady Shiva is the best hand to hand fighter in the DC universe. And I was like, well, who's number two? Kind of like when you do like who's the smartest guy, and and you end up with Mr. Terrific.
Sure.
And so like number two was canonically, at least this is my understanding at the time, was Black Canary. And I was like, that is so weird because that's such a random person to be the number two best fighter. You wouldn't think Black Canary could beat up Batman in a straight up head to head. But
Sure.
according to sort of what we're talking then, and it got stuck in my craw. I was like, that's the number two, that's the number one. And then years later, my kid got really into wrestling, really into WWE, and I did not want to be the kind of dad who was like, because I was not into WWE, who like I don't understand what this is. You do it on your own, because that's how my parents treated my comics. So I sat down and watched with him, and I got into it, watching all the stuff with the Cody and Roman Reigns. And I was like, this is amazing that they tell all these stories in sort of these four corners of the ring. And I was like, I wonder if we could do that in comics. Can you tell an incredible story just using four corners of the ring? And I was like, and I remember I was like, yeah, but who would be in this match? And I was like, of course, it would have to be the champion versus the contender. So it would have to be Black Canary and Shiva. And that's sort of where it started, that the number one best hand-to-hand fighter and the number two contender going to who is the best of the best, who is the best hand-to-hand fighter, who would win on like a basic, like when you're a kid, who would win level. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do 6 issues. Each issue is a round, and you find out at the end who's the number one character.
Now,
Sort of
now is it actually in a
forward.
ring or is it like a
It's
street fight?
actually in a ring. It's the match of the millennium. It's in Vegas. It's being aired not just to like the world, but to the multiverse. It's the biggest event of all
Okay,
time.
please, please, please
I
tell
haven't
me
sent you the first 2 issues. I feel like
you
everybody's had
haven't.
the. I'll send you the
No.
first two. I'll send you the first
Yeah.
three. Yeah, they're super good. I'll send them to you. Um,
Okay. But please, please, please tell me that the bartender Elmer Fudd is like the ringside announcer, because that would be perfect.
That would be awesome. Um, but
but because it's me, and as you'll see if you read the comic, it's the half the comic takes place in the ring as we see these two women fight and sort of come to the edge of their levels of endurance, and then we see sort of the reasons for the fight and where the fight began and what it means, and it's all about, of course, it's all about some weird emotional core, but it's about Dinah's relationship with her mother, the Black Canary, before her, and how she trained Dinah, and their relation, and how that training has reflected on Dinah, and the legacy that Dinah has taken on, and what it means to her to be the best, and to have her mother always try to make her the best, and whether she can rebel against that and take things. So it's actually, as they're fighting, we have all these sort of flashbacks to this mother-daughter story, which is sort of the heart of the whole thing. That's what
Nice.
it's really about. Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
super good. And it uses all sorts of weird comic book techniques. We use this sort of a different kind of narrator, and Ryan draws the fuck out of it, and it's beautiful. And I'll send it to you, and you'll be like, "What the fuck is this? It's amazing."
I am very much looking forward to it
Yeah.
because
so,
I
I
can't
mean-
speak highly. It's one of the best things.
do you
I
like
know.
watching fights? Like, did you happen to watch Mike Tyson and Jake Paul the
God.
other night?
see,
I-
see, if you did, don't tell Sunctress, because you know that he will just go off forever on how that's not a fight.
It was
What?
no.
One of the announcers is named John Sunter, based on our mutual friend Suntress. No, I would have just liked to watch it just for the monoculture moment of it, but
Sure.
I think my kids were doing stuff, or it was only like 12:30, and we were passed out in sort of a boring sort of way. But yeah, I know I'm not. I like the wrestling. I like watching wrestling with my kid. That's a lot of fun to me.
Sure. The theatrics of it all, are really cool.
I like the
Yeah.
wrestling and Love and Rockets.
I like wrestling and Rebel Rockets too. But
It's like the only place that I watch much wrestling.
I'm not an MMA guy. I'm not a boxing guy. This is definitely out of my comfort zone in terms of telling you. But I do love, when I was a kid, I loved, it's called Best of the Best because like these Van Damme movies. I like those
Sure.
sort of karate movies. I love Rocky. I love Raging Bull. I think you can do things with sort of there's something pure and beautiful about sort of two people stepping into a ring and only one of them emerges.
Yeah, I think it's It's interesting that like after baseball, the best storytelling done in any medium around sports tends to be around boxing.
Yeah, I mean, like the greatest sports writers ever were writing about boxing in the 40s and 50s and turning it into poetry,
Right.
Um, and that was, I mean, that was part of the energy that I wanted to get. Someone sent me a, but not sent, but someone, so my buddy Mike Cronenberg, um, sent me a book that he had edited, like called like the greatest sort of boxing things in pop culture, and I just flipped through it and I was like, this is amazing, like the stories people were to tell with like just this idea of of the fight being at the center of something and what it takes to get in that ring and what it takes to survive, all that stuff. It's amazing.
Have you seen Eddie Campbell edited it, the Goat Getters? He did a
No, I have not. Goat.
let me
I
find it and
like
show
your
it to you.
I like your confidence in me, though. That I would see an Eddie Campbell edited thing, not just indie, but edited indie.
Well,
I love
yeah,
it.
but it's of comics. Uh and it's boxing. He edited a it's called the Goat Getters. Share my screen.
No, but I'll order the crap out of it. I've been really into comics lately. That's a dumb thing to say because I'm a factual comic writer,
Right.
Sure.
The
but
Goat
I've just
Getters,
been
Jack
so,
Johnson, the fight of the century, and how a bunch of raucous cartoonists reinvented comics.
no. I want to get this. This sounds
Yeah,
wonderful.
it's amazing.
Oh, I will buy it.
Yeah, I think Fantagraphics put it out.
Of course, Fantagraphics did. Fantagraphics hates me.
Oh
I don't know
no,
why.
IDW, IDW.
Oh, IDW hates me
Yeah.
less.
Well, come to Chicago for cake next year. You can buy it from Addy Direct.
I'm in.
That's how
I
I
am
did it.
in.
You, Dad, you will sell anyone on cake. That's so funny.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll sell anybody on
What
cake
kind
and
of
C2E2.
cake?
No cake.
What?
It's the
Chicago Alternative Comic Expo.
Oh,
it's a
So
con.
think
well,
SPX, but smaller and in Chicago.
but we have SPX here in DC. It's literally in the suburbs of DC.
Yes, but Eddie Campbell lives in Chicago, so he always is at Cake, and I don't know how often he travels to SPX.
Ah,
All right.
there's
Ah,
there's
all
the
right.
connection.
That's the catch.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
I
All
mean,
right.
if he
I'm
goes
in.
to SPX, you can buy it from there, but I don't think he went this year.
I am in on Go
So
Getter.
were you a Black Canary fan before getting this?
I mean, I'm not like I grew up. I haven't read every story she's ever been in. I always thought she was an amazing character. She has an amazing design. I really like the Gail Ed Bennett stuff.
Yeah.
Read that coming off. Um, and I mean, I even went back and read like the Kanigher stuff from her original origin story, which is actually pretty good. Uh, but the height of Black Canary, what makes me a real huge Black Canary fan is Alex Toth did there were backups in Supergirl, or when I guess when Supergirl had taken over Action Comics.
Sure.
Um, and they're little, I think they're like 12-page stories. There's two of them. And they're one story, but it's broken up into two. And in my opinion, they are the best drawn superhero comics of all time. And that will permanently make me sort of a Black Canary fan in terms of what you can do with her design and how cool she is and how cool she moves and her attitude and all of that. That one Alex Toth story, which just there's a Black Canary collection that came out I think a year or two ago, and it's in there if anyone wants to check it out. But to me that is, and I've read a lot of comics, tens of thousands of them. That's I think the best drawn one, the best superhero wise.
Because yeah,
Of
prior
all
to
time.
hearing about this, like I have no experience with Black Canary other than the Green Arrow TV show. But
She's one of those characters that has a good. I mean, there's so much potential there.
yeah,
I mean, she has the Canary Cry is cool, But what's cooler about it is she's got an incredible costume that immediately strikes you.
Uh-huh.
And she's had a billion costumes and they're all cool. So there's all sorts of stuff. And she has a wonderful classic legacy DC origin story of her mother being the hero before, with not a lot of mother to mother stories,
Sure, it's always
which I
father
think
to
makes her
son, right?
fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always father to son. So there's that part of it. And her mother stretches all the way back to the Golden Age. So you can play with all of those tropes of her story of knowing all the older super. I mean, I think she comes before Robin. Like she's really like Black Canary was one of the first superheroes.
Okay.
Um, and and yeah, and she has like this kick-ass attitude. She
Yeah.
has this weird relationship with Ollie over the years, which is like this on again, off again, which is very fun to play with. So there's just a ton of stuff there that's worth digging into in that character.
I'm definitely going to pick it
Adventure
up.
Comics 491.
Yeah, that sounds right. So Adventure Comics, I said action. So
Yeah, the
Adventure.
Canary and the Cat.
The
that
Canary
sound
and the
right?
Cat, yeah. It's not like a deep story. It's just her and Catwoman fighting a little bit.
That still
yeah,
sounds pretty awesome to me.
It is ridiculous. A page of it is for sale in the latest Heritage, and I was all excited about it. And the first day it went to $22,000. So I was like, okay,
Whoa.
so I guess I'm not buying this. 22.
Yeah, see,
Unless I
the
sell
more you
that
talk
one
about
page.
this, the more I know that you would adore the Billy Ireland.
It's cool.
Because
My
if you
son
can get
goes to
yourself a
school there.
back room tour, which I'm certain you could pull off,
Yeah.
and if you couldn't, call me because I can help.
Ooh, all right.
It's one of the
I'm
few
in.
places that I can say that I can help.
Is this where Watterson has all his art? Is this
Yeah, all of
is this-
Watterson's
Yeah,
stuff there,
yes.
and it started when Milt Caniff gave them his papers. So it's got like massive amounts of Terry and the Pirates and Steve Canyon, but it's got original.
Have you
all
seen
sorts
the
of
Milt
stuff.
Caniff biography? Because I have it, and it's over
I
there.
haven't
and
yet.
It stares at me constantly, like please. And it's
Read me.
as thick as it could be. It's like 1,500 pages. It's like bigger than War and Peace, and it's the smallest print of all time.
Oh God.
But I think it would be so awesome. It's a Fantagraphics book, just to throw that one in. But yeah, I have it's sitting over there at the doorstop, literally like stopping my door.
Well, Tom,
I
I
highly
love
suggest
book
it.
clubs, so if you ever want an excuse to read it,
Yeah.
That'll take a while.
That'll be a long.
Let's
you and I
Yeah.
can take it a chapter at a time.
Tad and I are racing our way through One Piece right now. We're gonna read
Yeah.
the entire thing.
We're like 300 chapters into One Piece apiece.
Oh my God. One Piece is the most successful comic of all time, right?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Like that's
It's
just
like 1,000 some odd issues at this point.
Yeah.
but it has like the sales in the billions.
Yes.
It's an incredible. Someone explained to me what One Piece was, and my jaw dropped to the floor. I was like, I've never heard of it. And they're like, this is more
it's
successful than Batman.
Yes.
I was like,
It's
what?
good.
It's good.
I am
And
like
it's
no
pirate
longer
comics,
It's
right?
pirates.
It's pirates.
Yeah.
but it's funny. It's funny.
It's funny
pirates.
pirate comic. Do you know how much if I did a funny pirate comic it would sell in America? It would sell 13 copies.
I know.
And it would be mostly
Well,
to you guys.
only if it
How
came
could
out
a
through
funny-
DC.
We'd buy
if it
every
came out through
cover.
Viz. I mean, imagine like Plastic Man as a young, goofy pirate that just wants to do good in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. This pirate
Doesn't
Luffy,
seem to get that pirates are supposed to be the bad guys.
Yeah. He idolizes pirates and he's got these superpowers like Plastic Man almost. And it's just these crazy adventures he gets into trying to find the ultimate treasure, One Piece.
Right.
And yeah, and we're in volume 300 and
We're
chapter 300 out of 1100 so
something,
far.
yeah.
Wow.
And
Good luck. I wish you all luck. Let me know. You're like it gets good around chapter 1500.
No, it's been I got into it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I think
I
it
can't.
being good isn't the problem.
And
The
you guys
problem
don't mind
is
reading backwards? The reading backwards is such a barrier to me.
It
I-
took time to
took
get
a
used
little
to
bit.
it.
Took a little bit.
Because I read Pluto. which
I
love.
totally get what you're talking about. And for a long time, I needed a significant break in between reading manga and then going back to reading. Now I can actually switch back and forth and I'm okay.
I admire your
But it used to be
skills.
like if I read manga
You needed
And then
a
I
break.
immediately picked up a English or European comic and started reading left to right. I'd get a headache. Now I can handle switching back and forth a little bit easier.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Every time to me, it's a bit like again. I've read some manga, not a ton, but some, and when I'm sitting down, I'm just like, oh, I want to read a comic book. I want to relax. I don't want to go backwards. I'm just a
No,
Luddite.
I
I
totally
apologize.
get
Hey,
it.
I
My
get it. It
Ludditude.
is a learning curve, but yeah, it's good so far.
I actually even understand why so much of the early American manga was mirrored because I'm certain that for a long time it sold better that way.
Oh, I love the Akira
Right.
the Akira sort of omnibus. That's much easier to read. We work with Marie Javins who runs DC now, and she was the editor of that Akira volume. She's the one who mirrored it all, who put that all together. So
That's awesome.
Actually, the hardest part for me is always because it's translated, even though you're reading panels from right to left, you're still reading words
Left to
from
right.
left to right.
Yeah.
I know this is what I'm saying. Yeah,
And that's,
It
yeah.
the
doesn't
flipping
fl-
the pages is one thing. The panel's going the wrong way.
Yep.
Well,
Right.
it's just
There's a
it-
part of me, and this is autistic me, I can actually read backwards pretty easily. I would almost
Oh.
prefer to have
That's
the
funny.
text just going backwards. So I'm moving with it.
My mother, she's since passed away, but she could write mere language as easily as she could write
Wow.
handwriting.
That's rare.
It was like a little parlor
Yeah,
trick
that
she
I
could do.
can't
She
do,
could
but-
she could just write something and then hold it in front of a mirror and it read perfectly.
That's
it
awesome.
was a weird skill she had.
That's awesome.
So
Right.
I did want to talk to you about Archie because we read your Archie
I love it.
and we
It was great.
We loved it so much that you had those recommendations in there. We read those and loved those, and we just took this deep dive into Archie just for the fun
Yeah,
of
we
it.
know we'll
Just
be
for the
going
hell of
back
it.
eventually.
Just for
Ah,
the-
God bless you. Bless you both.
It was from your. We just decided to read your book on a whim because we didn't know what else to read for a Saturday episode that we were doing.
Well,
And-
no. With his book, I made it one of my choices of the week, and you
Oh.
went, "Really? That's good." I'm like, "No, it was really good."
That's right,
And you
that's
read
right.
it, and then we're like, "Well, we should." They gave us a roadmap, so we should go learn about Archie now.
Yeah, that's what
My
it was.
my kids, especially my younger two, but secretly my oldest as well, are just diehard Archie fans. That is the thing they love more than anything.
Now, diehard Archie fans through the years, or diehard Archie fans
Like contemporary.
Life of Archie onward.
All of it except not the horror stuff.
Okay.
They're I love my children, but they don't want to be scared when they read.
I just bought
So no
that humble bundle
Afterlife
of
with
all
Archie
the
for
horror
them.
stuff.
No Afterlife, no all the Sabrina stuff they do with all that stuff and the zombies and the
Is Afterlife with I wasn't expecting to like Afterlife with Archie as much as I did.
I liked
yeah,
it
Afterlife
too.
was really
It
that was a
was really
phenomenon when it came out. You remember when that came out? That
Right.
was like everyone's like, oh my God. But they like Archie that makes you laugh. They like goofy, silly Archie. And they've read I've bought them every single collection. It was like during COVID they got into it. And if you
Right.
go down into my living room, you'll just see stacks and
Stacks
stacks
of-
and stacks of Archies everywhere. And they know every name of every obscure character and all their adventures and all their they know that Josie and the Pussycats used to be Josie by itself, and they'll tell you all the side characters, and they're ridiculously deep into it, and so that's how I got into Archie. I didn't grow up with Archie.
I do have one mild bone to pick with you, though.
Let's pick some bones.
And that is that you left my favorite Archie comic, and it's still my favorite Archie comic, even now that I've read a bunch more Archie comics. Archie versus Predator didn't make your list. Alex DeCampi fucking knocked that out of the park.
Yeah, that's true.
That shouldn't work. That has no business working. It's amazing.
I have no doubt it's great. I have not read it. That's my
Then that's your
my-
homework assignment,
my-
Tom.
my-
Archie versus
my
Predator.
terrible
Archie
excuse.
versus Predator 2 is also good, but not quite as good as the original.
Okay, I'm ordering some Archie versus Predator. Like I said, my kids
Because
are
the
not
original is
drawn to
actually
the
done in
scary
Archie
stuff.
style art.
That's the best. That's the best.
I just bought
my-
the humble bundle of all the Archie horror stuff, and that was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Like $15 for
All of it. It was a
what, 30 some odd
Yeah.
digital graphic novels.
Yeah. You can get some good deals with Archie. Yeah, we have the subscription, we get the boxes. But my favorite Archies, as you could tell, I like that sort of 1958 to 1967 when it was still on the big art, and like that Dan DeCarlo, Harry Lucy, Frank Doyle. Yeah, those are my days. I think there's just some like Carl Barks-ish kind of
Oh, I love
great,
Carl Barks.
just great cartooning, just like silly being silly, and I love a good gag comic. I just think gag comics are a very hard art form. It's a lot harder to write gag comics than
Are
to write
you a
dramatic comics.
Nancy
So
fan?
I love Nancy, huge Nancy
Yeah.
fan. Yeah, I'm not like
I
one of
did.
those like guys who goes to Nancy conventions, but
Well, there's only been
I
one Nancy convention as far as I know. That was at the Billie Ireland this year.
yes. But I love a Nancy. I think maybe my favorite. I loved that Three Rocks book, man. That was so
Yeah, it's
freaking good.
fantastic.
That was
It's
amazing.
fantastic.
And then they
Did
released
you pick up?
two Nancy collections this year, which were both great.
Yeah, I was about to ask. Did you pick up become friends with Dennis Kitchen and he put out his Nancy collection through New York Review of Books this year.
Yeah, I
It
picked
was
that
a
up, and it's amazing.
fantastic collection.
So good. I love how he writes it backwards. That makes me feel that was such a
Yeah,
he writes the punchline and then goes back and does it.
yeah.
Yeah. No, Nancy, and of course, like I said, my kids are into that stuff, so they read the crap out of Nancy too. So we have a lot of Nancy jokes in the house. Yeah. I adore that stuff. I adore one,
Yeah.
two, three punches. I like comic strips. I like all that things. And I love the idea that Archie, there's not that much plot there. Again, it's that same thing that pulls me to the four corners of the ring, that you have just like this just such a little world to play with, and you find infinite diversity. It's he has to choose between Betty and Veronica, and he has to do, and that's it. And he lives in a small school town, and you have to make that interesting. Sometimes I have Superman in my hands, and he can travel to any dimension, anywhere, fight anything, and I was like, I have no idea what to write. These guys have like three plot points. They have to come up with something
But you know
day.
what? You killed it with Superman again recently too. Literally to the point where I picked up extra copies to give to every important woman in my life. The Superman and Wonder Woman
Go to the
shopping
mall.
for Batman issue. That was perfection.
That was
That was perfection.
my daughter and I.
Two friends just spending the day together.
My daughter and I, my daughter's 14, and I we're debating this. I was like, I have this issue, and it's gonna be Superman and Wonder Woman. I have no idea what it's supposed to be, and so I was like, I was gonna talk to my daughter, but I just had to talk to her or something. And so we were kind of going through ideas, and as we were shopping for her cousin for her birthday. We were in New Mexico, where my father lives, and you're just kind of going through all sort of the shops, in the center there. And I was like, what if we just did this? And she's like, what? And she's like, what? I was like, it'll just be like, Superman and Wonder Woman, they go shopping together for a present. And my daughter's like, that's the stupidest idea you've ever had. That's
No.
not a
Amazing.
comic book.
I
And I was
know.
like, no, you don't understand. It'll be Batman's present. And they're like, no, this is never gonna
It
No.
reminds
So
me-
I
was
just wrote it to
amazing.
prove my daughter wrong.
I mean, Tom, my probably four favorite superhero issues that you have ever written
I think I know one of them.
take place at the mall, the fair, and the day before when they're talking to each other about going to the fair,
Thanks.
and in a
Okay.
phone booth calling Earth from a billion miles away.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I love that stuff. Clay and I are trying right now to figure out a way to do a sequel to Double Date. I think I can pull him in.
I would be happy to see it
Yes,
because
that's one of my favorites.
Well,
I mean, it's what makes Tom King's superhero books special is you make them perhaps more than anybody else very human beings with faults and desires and good days and bad days and rather than just being the larger than life, they can do anything. I mean, they're that sometimes too, but they're also just people who are trying to do the best that they can and the best that they know how.
yeah, I always say
And I think that like really resonates with me.
I deeply appreciate that. I think it's probably the what I've done, or like my greatest theme in comics is this the dumb concept that that everyone is human, you know. I always
That's
say that
not a dumb concept at all. I mean,
uh,
I think we have a lot of trouble with that concept in this nation, in this world.
I always say that John Hickman and I are like the opposite writers, and I love John's stuff.
Yeah.
But like he takes superheroes and he brings them up into heaven so that when they're talking, you feel like, I mean, he literally wrote a book called Gods, but if it feels like a book where you feel like you're eavesdropping on two gods talking when his Captain
Yeah.
America talks to Spider. And even I just read Ultimate Spider-Man, which is a much more grounded John Hickman book. But even that, like, it starts off with Peter being sort of normal and realizing I don't feel right. Like there's something wrong about me. I'm not just human. I'm something more special than human. And like it's this idea that he's always pulling people into the clouds, which I love about it. And I'm always like taking these people in the clouds and squishing them back down to earth and being like, no, you're actually just as small as we are.
So
So like I feel like the two of us are kind of bizarro mirror images of each other.
that's true. Like when he did with the X-Men stuff with the Quiet Council, right? You just felt like these
Yeah,
guys were like more than mutants, I don't know
yeah. You
how.
always feel like you're on Mount Olympus with his characters,
Yes.
and
Yes.
they're talking, and there's
And
something.
I think that's also why I also love Hickman, but I have to read him in chunks and I have to be in the right mood. Reading Hickman to me is similar to reading Alan Moore or similar to reading Dickens or Salman Rushdie, where, I know that I'm gonna have to focus on a different level. I don't even want to think on a different level because I think I actually think more with some of your books, a lot of books, because I've got more room to think. With Hickman, the thinking has to be about what he's making me think about, not what he's inspiring me to think about. Does it
Interesting.
make sense?
Yeah, it does make
Which doesn't
sense.
make it bad. It's just a different experience.
Yeah. There's a
You know,
lot to take
he
in with
just has
Hickman
so
stuff.
much going on that
Yeah.
you have to unpack and
And you
figure
gotta
out
and you have to put it in the back of your mind for several years because it'll come out, down the line.
right. Which is again is why I prefer to do it in big chunks.
Yeah.
I, I,
Never.
what I admire about Hickman is like it's just his page to page panel work. I love it, but I think some of his, I just told him he thanks God, but some of his human moments are the best. The thing I've always been most jealous of Hickman for is, after the Human Torch died, when he did that thing where like Hulk and Thor come down to the thing and it's a silent issue and you see the thing kind of just like getting his anger out, blowing, trying to hit Hulk and Thor as hard as he can to sort of get the frustration. And I was like, oh, that's such a genius idea. And like he does those little human moments as much
Yeah.
as I'm reversing everything I just said with that. That's when Hickman does that. I was like, man, that sucks. That you have that gear too. Fuck you.
He can do them
You're like,
both.
that's my gear.
Like,
Yeah,
dude,
get
You
out of
have
my
the
gear.
other
stay
gears.
in
Stop
That's
your
doing
my
what I
lane.
gear.
do so
Stay in
good.
your lane, Hickman.
Yeah, I don't
That's
have an
supposed to be the
imagination.
backup story that I write for you.
That's right. That's exactly it.
Uh,
Don't you know I have kids to feed?
That's the first thing I say to him when I see him.
uh,
But yeah,
Oh.
I appreciate the love for Archie. That was a very fun thing to
it
do.
was so fun.
I remember I, I was it was the dumbest story ever. Art they flip a coin, uh, and I asked my kids. I was like, "Has Archie ever flipped a coin to decide between Betty and Veronica?" And they're like, "No." And my kids would be the only people who would know the answer to that, except for Mike Perlotto, who runs the company. So as soon as they said that no, then I knew I could do it. And just because we talk about deep shit, but like I do like the idea of the end of that episode where it's like he's kicking the can down the road because this decision will never get made. He's like Crazy Cat. He's gonna keep throwing that brick and is never gonna get the rat to fall in love with him. It's
Yep.
there is something a little profound about Archie's endless quest. He's a little bit Sisyphus, a little bit waiting for Godot. And I just it was Jamie Rich, who's the a big time editor for a lot of different
Yeah.
companies. he texted me. He's like, I had no idea who wrote this Archie until I got to the end, and there was at least one Kierkegaard quote, and I was like, oh, this is Tom. So I was like, I knew you could bring existential dread into there somewhere. I was like, yeah, it's me. Sign my name to it. So yeah, I adored writing that Archie. I just today got in the mail Dan Parent, who is an actual living legend. He's been drawing Archie for almost 40 years, and started out as Dan DeCarlo, who's the greatest Archie artist of all time. So it's like Dan DeCarlo's like right hand man. So he's like um, the inheritor, the guy who stands on the shoulders. And so he drew that story and he sent me the page. Obviously my kids are big fans. He drew my kids into the book. So
Nice.
all three of my kids are there. And so he sent me the page with all my kids on. I got in the mail today.
Oh
And
wow.
it's made one of my wife Liz, she's like, finally you bought some art I actually like. So yeah, so
He made you
I,
pay for it?
Does
no, he didn't make me pay. He sent it.
does your wife let you decorate the house with comic book art, or is it designated just one
Or
area?
do you
No,
have
it
designated
is.
areas?
No, I have a designated area. I have this. I don't know if you can see. My office is wall to wall comic book art.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I have, I think, one or two things that leak out. I bought from this. I actually did pay for from Mitch. He did this issue we did with John Paul before he died, where
Oh,
Batman Catwoman a Christmas special, and Mitch
right.
did this beautiful sort of page of Batman and Catwoman kissing under a Christmas tree, and it's
That's a
just
great page.
absolutely gorgeous. I bought that for Mitch as soon as I saw it, and that's framed into my living room. It's one of the rare ones that's come out that comes out of my closet. And then I mean I have some art and I have, because we're talking about it.
Sure.
I live in a row house in downtown DC, so my house is very long. It's like a train.
Okay.
Yep.
Um, and so that means I have these like long walls that run like 70 feet one way. And my kids were so into Archie. They just were, like I said, they're addicted to it. And so I started buying Archie art because it's beautiful. So I bought a ton of Archie art and I decorated an entire wall of my house with 71 Archie pieces. So it's like it looks
An
like
Archie hallway.
there's an Archie hallway that stretches right outside my door where I just walk past it, and it's like, it's like whatever, 11 complete Archie stories from the 50s and 60s that you can
Nice.
on
That's
the wall.
great. That's great.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Awesome.
That's
So yeah,
cool.
if you ever come to my house, you can see my huge Archie wall. It's
Well, the next time I'm in
intimidating.
DC, you just have to answer your phone.
I was there not too long ago. My cousin, we had a funeral for my cousin in
I
Arlington.
tried to get a hold of you the last time I was in DC.
I'm sure I was. Oh shit! I have too much work. If I respond to this, I won't. If I'm in
No, I
DC,
know.
I'm either working or taking care of the kids. So
I
it's
totally
I'm
understand.
easier to find in LA.
But I'm a teacher. I could probably make your kids laugh.
I'm
I
sure you
could
could.
probably make him laugh.
Although they're getting older, yeah. If I gotta, oh, my son's turning 16. My God.
I teach high school.
No, then you'll be perfect. What do you teach in high school? I don't know
I'm a
this.
special ed teacher.
Oh, that's odd. That's what my dad was. My dad was a special ed high school teacher, and
High
my
school
mother my
special ed.
mother was a special ed elementary school teacher before she went back to get her law degree. So when I was a little
So,
kid.
so she went from special ed elementary to VP at, was it Universal
Yes, my
or
no
Warner
Warner
Brothers?
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
And hey, she was a P by the end, so she was.
President by the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a big jump. That's
That
impressive.
is, yeah. My mother had a super weird life. Yeah, she she was a hippie, against the war and all that stuff, and then she wanted to like save the world, and so she became, yes, a special ed. She worked with like kids, 6-year-old kids who had mental disabilities
Right.
back in the 70s. And then she had my brother and I, and then when I was little, it was just too much on, like the emotional stress was too much, and she couldn't take it. She did it for 10 years.
Sure.
At least is the story she told. And so she applied for fucking Harvard Law School. Her marriage was falling apart. And then she took us 2 kids. I mean, she went to Harvard Law School when I was a little guy. And she was in her 30s and she
So,
changed her whole
so you grew up as a Harvard brat, is what you're saying?
I went to Harvard Law Preschool. That was the name of my preschool was Harvard Law Preschool.
Harvard
That's
Law
awesome.
Preschool.
Yeah.
That's
It was
awesome.
the only time I ever got into Harvard was when I was 4.
That's awesome.
Should have seen my fucking Play-Doh. They did it at SAT with just Play-Doh. Was fucking, I nailed that one. Right in.
Oh
Yeah, so
wow.
that's I grew up a little bit in Cambridge when I was a little guy. I don't really remember. Then we moved back to LA, and she kind of slowly climbed a corporate ladder
Right.
in the studio system.
Yeah. So you just wrapped up a couple of stories that are so hard to rank the stories that you've written
I've written a
as
lot of
like
stuff lately.
favorites because they're just also fucking good. But the two recently wrapped, and I'll let you choose which one to talk about first, are Animal Pound a couple of months ago, and now
Oh yeah,
Helena Windhorn just this week.
Well, here, if
yeah.
I could weigh in,
Helen
if I
just
could
dropped.
weigh in, we've talked about Animal Pound in the past, but we have not
Yeah,
talked about Helen of Windhorn.
let's talk about Helen of
We've
Windhorn. I'll
talked
talk.
about both because we got Helena Windhorn right before the last time we talked to him,
Oh,
but we
true.
haven't talked to either since they finished. But I'm all for Helen first.
Please, let's talk about Helen. I think it's the most beautiful
Yeah.
book on the stands. Let's
Yeah.
start with
It.
that.
Oh my
I just
God.
think it's, and I apologize because I work with some of these artists and some of them are my best friends, but I just think what Bilkis and Lopez did on that book is just beyond. I just
Yeah.
they are young titans, those two. And I wrote them a note after issue 5, which is a random issue because it's not even it's the penultimate issue. And I was like, I think this might be the best comic art I've ever seen on a comic book. I was like, I cannot believe how good the art is on this book. Don't tell Mitch I said that because obviously he's my favorite. Um, but yeah, I was just blown away by what they did. That's much like Human Target. That's an art book. Buy it for the art, and then the story will take you where you want to go. But just look at how fucking beautiful it is.
Oh, it is. It's gorgeous. And obviously Robert E. Howard inspired. What else
Yes.
goes into that?
I mean, this was very much a peanut butter chocolate kind of thing, where at the time um, I was reading Wuthering Heights, and I was a little bit just like I get obsessed with kind of like how people tell stories and whether I can tell a story in that genre, and and what was once big or small. And I was kind of obsessed with this idea of like what Gothic romance was, especially in the 60s and 70s when like there were so many paperbacks that were just like the same paperback where it was a girl running away from a castle, or a big fancy house somewhere in New England. And so I read the sort of the height of that, which is Wuthering Heights. Obviously it's called Windhorn House, Wuthering Heights. It's that WH repeat.
Yep.
Right.
Uh, and so I wanted to do something in that. I wanted to do something with sort of gothic romance, or what's awesome sort of about that genre of like a young woman coming into a very strange house where she has to solve a mystery. I think it's why is that so appealing? Sort of Rebecca, that like Hitchcock's Rebecca.
Right.
And uh, and at that same time, I was also reading a ton of Conan comics, just the Roy Thomas classic Conans,
Yeah.
John Buscema, and just loving them, being like, oh my God, I just love disappearing into this stuff, and so those were my two obsessions. And then after Supergirl, I was like, Bilkis, whatever you want to do, I'll do anything. You want to do a superhero, any superhero. You want to go to Marvel, fuck it, I'll tear up my contract. Like whatever you want. I will do it. And she sent me, so she's like, I want to do an indie thing. And she sent me like a vision board of what she wanted to work on. And it was all this kind of 1930s, more kind of pulpy imagery and, stuff like kind of Frazetta-ish stuff
Right.
for lack of a better word. And I was like, this is very, so I was like, that's not exactly Conan, not exactly Wuthering Heights, but I dug it. And then of course, you read Conan, and then you want to read about Conan, and you read about Robert Howard's stories, and you guys know this, but maybe your audience does it, but like when he invented an entire genre, he's one of the most important sort of, American writers of all time.
Yeah.
Um, and then at 30 years old, he's super young. His mother dies. He walks to his car, takes out a gun, and shoots himself in the head.
Right.
There's a whole movie about it with Vincent D'Onofrio, if you're into
Fantastic movie.
yeah, yeah. And but it's a mystery. Why would he do that? Nobody kind of quite understands, and how does that relate to his art and who he is? And uh, and so I started sort of all those were that was the chocolate and peanut butter of it. It was the idea of the Robert E. Howard story. It was the idea of the Conan. We may want to tell the Conan story, and you want to tell the Wuthering Heights story. And in my head, I just came up with this idea that it was about, if Robert E. Howard was a little older, if he had a daughter who had sort of witnessed this, what would her life be? And then her finding out that her father was not writing stories, but was just telling the story of his youth and it's the story of his own father, who was Conan, and that became. And I was like, oh, so this is about a grandfather and a granddaughter, and sort of the missing generation between them, and that's how it became sort of what it became, and that's how sort of Helen of Windhorn was made. Yeah. And Helen, my daughter named her Helen. We were watching an old movie one day, Born to Kill, and then the lead character is named Helen. She's like, I like Helen. And Windhorn is a play on. I wanted it to be a W word. And I went to my high school was called Windward, so I just took my
Okay.
high school and whipped it around a bit. So it became Helen of Windhorn.
Yeah, I Helen's one of my favorite characters that you've written.
I love her.
I
Yeah.
felt her pain. I felt her strength. I felt her confusion and determination. And you Bilkis just, oh my God.
Yeah.
I thought Supergirl was good.
Yeah, she was off the charts with this one. And she just brought the character. Yeah, I know Helen seemed just very easy to me to because she was one of those people who was raised by a father who didn't know he had a child and just thought he had a best friend.
Right.
Um, and in that way didn't sort of care about her education or bringing her up, but just cared about her as a companion.
Right.
And uh, and she loved that about him, and she loved that life, and didn't realize that sort of those were, parts of his tragedy and parts of the thing he was running away from was his inability to sort of embrace the fact that she was a child that he had to raise. And so bringing that character sort of into a place where she could both find herself and heal her wounds was what it was all about. So yeah, she was an absolute joy to write. And I use that same, I mean, the book was intended from the very beginning, just, from a commercial way to be like, if you like Supergirl, you'll like this. So I very much wanted it to be, a female-led comic, just like Supergirl is.
Well,
And
and
I used,
Supergirl was an unexpected story, a brilliant story, an amazing story, but I don't think there were many people that opened up that first Supergirl issue and expected to see True Grit in space.
no.
I loved it, but it wasn't what I was expecting.
Did I ever show my
It,
original pitch that had Lobo in it? I must have told you this story.
I feel like you might have, but you can tell me
Okay.
again.
No, I won't tell you again then. But yeah, it was True Grit in Space. Yeah. But I mean that book became I don't know became I mean obviously it's become a movie now and it's my number one selling book. So
Yeah.
thanks to the movie. But that book's such a gift because it's when I first got into comics there were sort of these comics that you could give to other people to bring them um, in the early aughts that it was Why the Last Man was like the big one.
Yeah.
Like give someone the Why the Last Man or Fables. It was those two like
Yeah.
for the first trade of Fables and the first trade of Why.
Yep.
Um, and you give them to your father, give them to your wife, give them to your brother, and be like, look, this is what comics are, and you like this? Okay, here's Preacher, here's
Right.
Sandman. You're starting to like this. Here's Grant Morrison's JLA. Now you're a superhero fan.
Right.
Like that was how it worked. And so Supergirl has become that. It's become like the gift people give to people who don't know comics. And I've utter confidence in it. It just goes out and makes friends and gets people to like it. So it's fun having it's nice. It's a good book.
So I have to ask, you seem to leave the door open at the end of Helen for more.
Oh, 100%. Are you kidding?
So is it
Yes.
something you're
Yes.
planning or just something you're hoping for?
I mean, it's similar to what we have with Elsa on Love Everlasting, where I don't know how you do Helen without Bilkis. So it's more her, but she's been working on Helen since Supergirl, so like four
Right.
years. So she deserves breaks. She
Oh
deserves
no,
to.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So it's something that her and I have to work out. But to me, it's different than obviously Love Everlasting is basically one story that Elsa and I have told half of. We need to tell the second half. Um, the tale of sort of Othin and Helen, that could go in 1,000 different directions. You can
Right.
tell you can tell Conan stories there. You can tell Gothic stories there. You can tell fantasy stories. You could go take them like it to me. It's a door has opened into a world of stories where I can launch from these characters and go off in any direction I want. It's like I created my own little fantasy world. I
You can
mean,
have Helen
fantasy
go to
world.
college.
Yeah, you can hell exactly. You can have Helen, be 90 years old and living in the early aughts. Like
I actually think it
you
would
can do
be
many
hilarious to
things.
see Helen at some like prestigious college, and when the boys are jackasses to her and discover that she's a badass.
Yes, that she oh, so much fun.
What did you
I have
say?
her hang. I have her hang from that tree for that's a little shout out to the original Conan movie where he just has to push the cork around for his whole
Right.
life to get all his powers. She has to hang from a tree. Yeah, yeah. Helen's fucking cool. She kicks ass.
It's
And
amazing.
she's highly broken, which is my favorite kind of character, obviously.
So my fingers are crossed that Bilkis wants to do more at some point, but I also agree with you that when you have a character that only one person can do, when they need time off, they get time off.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I mean, I haven't. I mean, I'm stupidly ambitious. I mean, I would like to do. I mean, you couldn't do it, but I'd like to have my own Hellboy. I'd like to have sort of a world that's like you could have different artists come in and do different sort of chapters of it. I just haven't figured out how to work it, or if it's worth the time. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I think it would be worth the time if you found the thing that like lit your fire.
Yeah.
dude, everything like that sounds wrong, but
No,
whatever is
no,
in front of
actually,
me makes me excited. I get excited about
let me
Archie and
rephrase, Tom.
Batman, Superman.
That's almost the problem, is because everything I mean, for you to manage to make your own Hellboy, you'd have to be willing to let go of everything else for at least a couple of years.
Yeah, that's true. That is
You'd
one of
have
my
to
many
be,
weaknesses. Like never
this
Fully
let things
absorbed.
go.
has
Yeah.
me so tied in that nope, no Batman right now, nope, no Superman. Talk to me X number.
I have 22. No, I have 82 more Wonder Womans to write. It's gonna take a while.
It's gonna take a while till you get to that point.
Well, and then
Yeah,
you got to do your 100 Superman. Didn't you say you wanted to do
yeah,
that
and then I
too?
gotta do 100 Supermans. So it's gonna take a while, and then by that point, yeah, I got a ways to go. That's right. Wonder Woman is this week. I'm supposed to write Wonder Woman, but I'm working on Lantern stuff. So next.
You brought up. Oh shoot! I just lost the title of it. With Elsa, what's your book? Love.
Oh, Love
Love
Everlasting.
Everlasting.
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
that is a book that I give to people. That's up there with
Yeah.
the fables and the why and money shot and
Money shot.
I give that.
Money Shot is a way in for
I
certain
gave that to
certain
my
people,
brother.
yeah,
I
certain
gave Money
crowd.
Shot to my brother, just almost a gag gift. Going, you have to read this.
Yeah, Money
It
Shot
actually goes over pretty
shouldn't
well
tell
with
Seeley's
real
stories.
scientists too, the ones that are actually frustrated at how hard it is to get funding.
Yeah.
I love Seeley. He's like my brother. He's one of my
Yeah.
best friends. So I like Money Shot. Yeah.
Well, see, that's another reason to come out to Chicago for cake. Hang out with Seeley.
Anytime, and he is such a cute little girl. So yeah, a cute little daughter.
Yeah.
So
We got good pizza,
all right, fine. I'm coming to fucking
baseball.
Chicago. When is C2E2 this year?
April.
I feel like it's April. Yeah.
April.
April.
I feel like it's early this year.
Yeah.
I was gonna do less cons, and now I'm kind of getting itchy. I want to do more cons. Now I wanna.
See,
kinda wanna-
here I'm like encouraging you to do the cons where you don't have to table, where you're just walking around, going and seeing
Oh, I
comic stuff.
like tabling. That's my new thing I do at cons. You go through kind of stages in cons. When you first go there, you're just trying to desperately sell your book, and then you get, enough that you can get a line. And you
April
kind of
11th to
tired.
13th for
All right.
C2E2.
I'll see what I can do. Yeah, what I do at cons now is I just sign all day long. I sit at my table and I just sign. That's what I like to do. I just like to get as many fans as I can, as many books as I can.
That's awesome.
That's that because you get that thing where like, oh, if I just do 2 hours a day, I can wander. I mean, I always find time to go and buy crap. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but what I that's my con experience now is all about signing books, which is I really like just talking to fans and shit. And I get to sit. Usually, I'm next to Mitch or Clay, two of my best friends, and we're just fucking making fun of each other constantly, and it's just it's a blast. I love it, and I also love being with just in an environment of comics. I don't know. Obviously, we're going through some times right now, and I mean, just to admit my own vulnerabilities, like comics feels like a great safe place. I don't know. To me, it still feels like the community feels very important to me, and the books feel very relevant to me, and they have both the nostalgia factor and the ambition factor, and I just like being around comics.
In the community of artists and writers, even for us, as comic book commentators, um, getting to talk with people in the industry, it is a very positive industry, and it is very inclusive, and it does feel safe, like you said, not just in the books themselves, but in the community.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably saying too much, but I don't find the world to be entertaining. I'm the kind of guy who, like,
Tom, this is where I'll remind you that our listeners are my mother, my brother, my friend John, and my buddy Britt. So you can say anything you want, and there's a really, really good chance that nobody will know.
I'm the guy who I love my whole life I love reading the paper. I like being involved. I like knowing about what's going on. All of that's gone from me now. I don't
It's
find
hard right
the
now.
outside world to be entertaining.
It's very tough. Like
But there's something freeing about that. I was like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. I want to care about making something beautiful and cool and reading my friends and other people out there who are making beautiful and cool things.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my attitude right now.
Cool. Well, that's probably a good spot to end things, Tad. I've got to go to bed, and I have to.
You want to go to bed?
And
go to bed.
It's
very late. I agree.
Yeah. But we haven't asked him for a book recommendation. We have to do that. Tell me something you love that not enough people have experienced. You need them to, so that you can talk to them about it, and then you and I can book club it, and that'll be our next time to talk.
I have recently been addicted to late Will Eisner. Okay. So post Contract with God, he did like 12,
so like the stuff he was doing with Dennis Kitchener.
All the Dennis Kitchen stuff, all the stuff that's about the Bronx. He did like 12 graphic novels. I've been reading them all, and I think I haven't read one where I wasn't like, this is one of the most brilliant things I've ever read. I'm utterly obsessed with them. If you want like a Life Force comes to mind. I just read that one recently, which is super good. And Dropsy Street is obviously super good. The one that's about comics, which I can't remember, which is just like about his youth in comics, is crazy.
My favorite collection is actually A Life in Comics, which has I think 3 of them that are the most autobiographical. I think it's Minor Miracles, Name of the Game.
Yeah, Name of the Game is the one that's about comics. It's about like his like comic book stories.
Name of the Game is actually that one's like half about his wife's family though.
What's the name of the game? I just read the one that's about 3 generations of who gets married. Is that Name of the Game?
I think it might have been.
Loved that one. Sorry, the name. I'm old man. But yeah, late Eisner. I think. I mean, obviously Eisner. I mean, not they named the fucking award after him, but he has an amazing story. Like he was king of comics, and he took 30 years off to do
comics for the military.
Comics for the military that are, and I'm semi obsessed with them because they're fascinating little.
The PS Weekly stuff is amazing.
It's so bizarre that this guy who is the best in our industry for most of his career was writing like, here's a pretty girl telling you how to change the oil in a tank. It's just
he had to let everybody catch up to him.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you look at so many of those spirit stories, the only thing that really, really identifies it as like a 40s book rather than an 80s book is the racist caricature that he regrets.
He does not regret enough. He did not.
Doesn't regret enough.
Famously, he was like, no, it was of its time. So yeah, Eisner can take some hits for
Well,
that.
I always point to his introduction for Fagin the Jew.
Yeah.
Where he talks about part of the reason he wrote that was as he understood that he needed that he regretted it as he got older, he regretted it more, and he wanted to write a book to try to understand how it felt. So yes, he didn't regret it enough, and he certainly didn't regret it soon enough. But I feel like there was some. But that's the only thing that like differentiates it from like Miller Daredevil.
Yeah, no, it's stunningly good. But that stuff, even that, I've read a ton of Spirit and it's good. I like the post Contract with God stuff better.
I agree.
It feels so personal to me, and the way he'll just do 3 panels, and you'll think you'll have read a novel. Mm-hmm. I do 3 panels on a page, and I'm like, there's not enough writing here. Mm-hmm. But his feels so thick, and the way he jumps time, and and the art is incomprehensible. I could just focus on the writing because I can't understand how anyone could draw all that, especially in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. So yeah, that's a recommendation. Post Contract with God, Eisner.
Cool.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant work. Yeah. And yeah, no, I definitely need to get an Eisner. Yeah, this is the one that I love.
What are you looking at?
I'll pull it up. Life in Pictures.
Oh.
Is a collection of his here's the button. They move the share button after you use it.
Nah, I'm just trying to throw you off.
Life in Pictures here has The Dreamer to the Heart of the Storm.
The Dreamer, that's the one, yeah.
The Dreamer's the comic one.
Yeah.
Dreamer to the Heart of the Storm, and then Name of the Game. Cool. All in one hardcover volume.
His Vietnam book
with a Scott McCloud. Oh yeah, Last Day in Vietnam.
Yeah. Yeah. I just. Yeah.
Did you see that the Collected John Law is coming out in March?
That's cool.
Both his stuff and the stuff from Gary Challoner.
Oh.
Did a run on it in 2004.
All right.
All being collected together. Dennis Kitchen introduction.
They're doing
Dennis
an
Kitchen
artist
is writing all of the introductions these days.
They're doing an artist edition of Cook's Spirit stuff, which I think is amazing.
Cook's Spirit stuff is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's super good.
Absolutely amazing.
That's
Tom. Always a blast.
What a
Hopefully
pleasure.
we can find a time to do it.
Whenever you want. Let me know.
Sounds good.
We always say that, and then it takes us 4 months to plan.
In 4 months, the Helen and Animal Pound trades will be out, and I'll be pushing the fuck out of them. So give me a call for it.
I want to say one of them comes out on my birthday, or was that the Dark Age?
I don't know.
One of them is February, one of them is April. So if your birthday
no, my birthday's March, so it must be Batman Dark Age that comes out on my birthday.
That's true.
I know that I'm getting a great trade for my birthday from somebody.
Yeah, it is true.
I'll send you one of these Animal Pound. I think that book I got. That book is fucking weird. So yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah,
about it.
I loved Animal Pound.
Love it.
But no, Tom, I mean, yes, we need to have you plug the hell out of those. But one day I want you to come on, and I want to because you are such a fount of. You love comics the way we love comics, the way I love comics. You read them voraciously. You go down rabbit holes. We need to pick a book, whether it's an Eisner or something else, and read it together and just fall down the rabbit hole. That's what I want to do.
Yeah,
one of these
fall
days.
down the rabbit hole. I'm in. Let's do it.
Sounds cool.
So we'll figure that out. I'll email you. I'll get in touch with Mandy. That sort of thing.
Sounds good.
And and I'll let you do your writing too, because that's where we run into problems. You keep saying yes to all of the writing gigs, and that leaves you no time for podcasts. Don't you know that this is the important part of your job, Tom? The part that pays no
Now
money,
you tell
but
me.
makes you
Now you
laugh.
tell me.
That's
No, it's
funny.
the best part of my job. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. It
All
means the
right.
world to me,
All right, guys.
as always.
All
Have a
right,
good
Tyler, take
night.
us
Go to
out.
sleep.
All right, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll catch you guys after the next page. Later. Hey, guys, this is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22 Panels Podcast.